Hey y'all, what's up? I'm here to talk about this new moon in Gemini. Yes, baby, yes. Aren't you excited to talk about it? I am. Yeah, so let's talk about it. I'm gonna go through the same type of like wave and things that I usually do. I talk about its positioning and shit, the timing and the dates and all of that. Alright. Tell you what degrees it's in. Give you just a little bit of numerology with this as well. Tell you generally what the new moon means, astronomically and astrologically. And then talk about it more in depth, the actual placement, the actual energy of a Gemini new moon, and even get a little bit details on this one specifically with what decade it's in, Of course, I'll talk about the aspects that this new moon is making, and then I'm going to cut it off for y'all regular folk. For my patrons, what I do is dig a little deeper, and I typically, right, talk about the aspect patterns that are happening and the fixed stars that are conjuncting the new moon. But this time there are no aspect patterns and there are no fixed stars conjuncting this new moon. So I was thinking okay, how am I gonna serve my people? So after what I typically do in every new moon and full moon reading, after I talk about how the new moon may affect you and your chart, and basically what I do with that is with each house, I talk about how if the new moon's in your first house, how it's going to affect you. The new moon's in your second house, how it's going to affect you. So it gets a little deeper. But what I'm going to also do is do my Astro Tarot 12 card reading for this new moon in particular. I was supposed to start the Astro Tarot for Gemini season. It was construction happening in my house. There still is construction happening in my house. My dad's taking a break. I'm seeing if I can just do this real quick because, shit's wild right now. My dad's taking a lunch break. His people's taking a lunch break. I'm trying to, get shit going before they start again. And then I'm going to do, I'm literally going to do parts throughout the day. That's my life. Okay. So, what I'm doing here though is what I'm going to be doing is doing the 12 card reading now. When I do the Astro Tarot 12 card reading, I usually base it off a person's chart. But since this is for the collective, and I don't know what your rising sign is, I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? I'm just going to do the typical Astro Tarot 12 card reading as if I was a tarot reader. Tarot readers that don't know that much about astrology, so they won't connect the dots with your actual chart. I'm just going to kind of just do a general 12 card reading of the collective and kind of get what they are feeling based off of what the cards mean and the cards placement of what house it's in, and kind of put it all together. You know what I mean? So you get a little taste of how my Astro Tarot reading is, but you can get the real taste of how my Astro Tarot readings are by looking at past Astro Tarot readings that I've done on my YouTube page, which is ASTRODIM'S 7, right? And I'm going to start doing them again, okay? I'm going to start doing them probably for Cancer season, which is cool because it's for the not the summer equinox, why can't I think of it? The summer solstice. There you go. Bam. Right. So it'll be nice to start for the summer solstice and everything. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So yeah, that's what I think how I'm going to handle this reading. So let's get started. Okay. So this new moon is going to be happening on June 3rd, 2019 at 5:58 a.m. Eastern Standard Time if you're in the U.S., okay? Of course, 4:58 in Central Time, 3:58 in Mountain Time, 2:58 a.m. in Pacific Time, and then Lord knows what a.m. in all the other parts of the world, okay? So definitely keep that in mind, that I'm not where you're at probably. I'm probably not where you're at, okay? Now, this new moon's going to be happening at 12 degrees Gemini, 12 degrees, 34 minutes, Gemini, okay? So happening in the second decan of Gemini, so we'll get a little bit more into that a tiny bit later, okay? So when you reduce 12, right, you get 3. 1 plus 2 equals 3. And 3 is a very interesting number. It's a fun and creative number. Geminis are fun and creative, right? It reminds me of like enjoying yourself, having a party, but also it's connected to third party situations. You know, not astro, but you know, tarot card readers love seeing the 3 cards and being like, third party situation this, third party situation that, la 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 la. It can be, but not all the time. 3 can represent creativity, enjoy yourself, having fun, being really artistic, creative, all that vibes, okay? But when I even think about like the tarot sense of things, right? I kind of like to break it down to get a general sense of what 3s really mean. So if you think about the 3 of swords, right? That represents a heartbreak. 3 swords are like on the heart. And when you think about 3 of swords is connected to, or the sword energy is connected to logical thinking and intellect. So I'm kind of thinking that these 3 swords are like, yes, a heartbreak, but caused by your own thoughts or the thoughts of others. You get what I'm saying? The 3 of cups is connected with people enjoying themselves and having fun, right? They're literally celebrating. They have their cups in the air, waving it like they just don't care. And you're really enjoying yourself and celebrating. It's funny, my cousin, which you should check them out, they're called Fire and Water Infinity. They're on Instagram. Those are my people. I love them so much. Charles and Kiki. But my cousin Kiki was saying that 3 of Pentacles kind of reminds her of people doing witchcraft, because they kind of look like they're like around a cauldron a little bit, how they're partying. So I was like, that's really cool. So thinking about that too. But they're enjoying themselves and they're having fun that they're manifesting. You get what I'm saying? So it's really interesting. When you think about 3 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles is connected to people coming together and teamwork and being like, all right, we all need to come together, be practical, use all our minds to get this thing done. It's deeply connected to teamwork. And then 3 of Wands is connected to seeing your dreams come into fruition slowly but surely. It hasn't fully came into fruition yet, but you see it finally coming through. So when you kind of make the connections of all of these 3, it's not just you. When you kind of think of like the 3s in tarot, it's not just you. Other people are involved. It's a team effort. It's not just your thoughts. It's the thoughts of others. It's not just your energy. It's the energy of others. It's not just your hand. It's the other people's hands, and they're working hard at it too. It's not just your dream. It's other people's dreams, and it's affecting everybody else. You know what I mean? It's affecting the greater group at large. And so it's when you think of 3s, you think of people or thoughts or things coming in together, attempting to all, not even coming to as one, but attempting to reach one goal. You know what I mean? Attempting to kind of do one thing, whether it's good or bad. So that's what I really think of when I think of 3. And it's interesting because from a long time, if y'all remember, it was like the new moon's always at a 15 degrees for like months, okay? So that would derive for 6. And 6 was definitely kind of like this soulmate, reflective type of energy, reflecting on your victory, reflecting on past emotions and memories, and even your soulmate, reflecting on not forgetting where you came from and helping where you came from, and helping the people that you came from, and kind of reflecting on your thoughts too. It's big on reflection and thinking back and going back. And so it changing so sharply to 5, which is kind of connected to conflict. It makes you think like, all right, you need to snap out of it, stop thinking back, and we're going to cause some conflict to help you snap out of it, right? And then now, because, if the 5, when I'm saying the 5, mind you, I'm saying that the last new moon was at 14 degrees, okay? And now, this moon's at 12 degrees, which comes to 3, And now it seems like now we're kind of going into a new level, going into a new cycle of like, all right, let's start this creativity. We've been reflecting too long. We've been reflecting and healing. Now let's go and do something about it. You get what I'm saying? So it's really interesting how the numbers change like that. And this actually makes me think like, okay, well, shit. When's the next new moon? What degrees are going to be in? So now I'm going to check because I'm talking about it. It looks like it will be at 11 degrees. It looks like. Let me just... Yeah, you're going to hear a whole bunch of buttons. Sorry, y'all. Now I have to check. No, it's actually at 10 degrees. The new moon's going to be at 10 degrees. Which is 1. So, yeah, it seems like we're having like a cycle change. Like we're changing cycles for sure. So that's really interesting, you know. And this next new moon that's coming through is going to be a solar eclipse too. So that's fun. We ain't going to be able to see it in the U.S., but a lot of parts of the world is going to be seeing it. I know a lot of people from around the world have been, listening to my podcast. So definitely try to look out. That's going to be happening in June 2nd, okay? July 2nd, excuse me. But this new moon, let's go back to this new moon on June 3rd, okay? Now, what does the new moon mean in general, like astronomically and astrologically? So astronomically, basically the new moon and the sun are basically in the same area, in the same exact area. They're aligned, but not aligned as a solar eclipse in which like the moon is going to be blocking the sun. They're aligned in the same fashion, but one is higher than the other. So they're not going to be crossing each other, but they're going to be aligning to each other. That's what it kind of represents astronomically. Astrologically, though, new moon, if you think about it, if they're aligned together like that, even if they're on top of each other, that means that these two energies that the moon and the sun's representing are coming together as one. And so, usually that, the sun represents like your expression, your self-expression, your reaction to things, your identity, and the moon represents your inner emotions, the things that are private to you that you don't let out that much. Someone got to be close to you to know this side of you. The moon side of you is your emotions, right? And so when they are coming together during new moons, what's happening here is that our emotions are lined up to how our identity and how we are reacting to things. And so we're feeling very at peace, opposed to a full moon when the sun is at the opposite end of the moon. We're feeling one way, but we are reacting another. And that's what I'm so sorry for all the background noise, by the way, if you hear it. That's where the conflict happens. That's why the term, that's what the term lunatics came from. It's because like usually during a full moon, our emotions are one thing, but we're reacting another. But during new moons, we are aligned. What we feel is how we're reacting and vice versa. And what's dope about it is because we are so aligned, we have a clear mind, a clear intuition, to really start to manifest things into our lives. So that's why it's really important to do new moon manifestations, because the new moon, we are fully aligned. We know exactly what we want. We've learned the lessons through the full moon. Now we can manifest the things that we want in this life based on this moon. You get what I'm saying? Because we're clear. We're clear emotionally, externally, all that shit, internally, all that. Okay? So it's a good time to manifest for sure. Okay? Now, what does this particular new moon mean? Well, the sun and the moon are coming together in Gemini, which is great. And so, Gemini is connected to, communication, community, siblings. And when I say communication too, I mean all forms of communication. Writing, texting, talking, telepathy even. You know what I mean? All that. And then when I say community, it's all forms of community that you're in. Not just your locale, but even the community of like, if you have an interest in a community, or you're connected with a group of people that have the same interest, that's a community too. You know what I mean? And so, Gemini energy is connected to like all forms of like books and writing and learning as well, especially when it comes to like learning things that you came up with, you know what I mean, like from your childhood and stuff, like things that were ingrained with you while you were being raised. You know what I mean? That's the energy that's connected here. And so it's really interesting with generally the Gemini moon, because the Gemini moon just natally to how I was just talking to my sister about this too, so this is funny. You know, they are very much like a why asker, like why, but kind of reminds me, this is so it's funny. So this is actually, I'm gonna tell you a story real quick. So remember the whole DaBaby fight, how this dude was just fucking with him for no reason, and DaBaby like finally got a chance to, well, DaBaby didn't confront him, the guy confronted DaBaby, and DaBaby ended up beating him up. And my sister, I was showing my sister's friend was showing my sister, and I already saw it, and so I was like laughing at it and talking with my sister's friend. And my sister kept asking her friend and me, she's like, but why is he messing with DaBaby? And I was like, he's just a hater. She's like, but why though? Like, what happened? It's like, he's just fucking with him. Like, he's just being an asshole. My sister's like, but why though? Like, mind you, my sister's a Gemini. So it kind of that's the energy of the Gemini, is the why, right? And so when it comes to the moon, which is connected to emotions, when Gemini energy feels something, their first instinct is like, why am I feeling this way? And they'll try to dig and figure out why they're feeling this way and get into a rabbit hole, right? The thing is, though, with the sun also being here, you know, that whole why factor is a part of your identity. It's a part of how you react to things. And so Gemini suns, what they do is they want to know why, and so they do something about it. And then then after that they teach, you know what I mean? It's a part of their identity, is, you know, for them to know this thing and help learn from others and teach others too. And so but the one thing that's different about Gemini and Sag, because Sag is like this too, is that Geminis have to experience it. Geminis have to be a part of the situation and know and can say for themselves that, yes, I've seen that happen, and yes, that is true. While Sagittarius are a little bit more open to listen to the mentor, read books, and then like, you know what I mean, they don't need to be a part of their upbringing. They don't mind experiencing things that's foreign and different from them, and learning things that are foreign and different from them. Gemini likes to learn different things, but the thing is, they have to experience it, though, for them to feel like they really know it. You get what I'm saying? And so with the moon and sun kind of coming together like this, it's great, because what's happening is that all this inner feeling that you've been feeling on, like, why do I feel this way? Why am I going through these emotions? Why did I have to go have a certain relationship with my family or with my mother? Or why am I not nurturing? Like, all the why emotional feelings that you feel, now you're going to take action onto them and figure out the why. It's not just going to be in your head. It's not going to just be internal. It's going to be a part of your identity to figure out the why and really take action on figuring out the why. The dope thing about this too is that, you know, Gemini energy is also, again, connected to communication and writing. And so if you've been feeling a certain type of way, you're going to communicate it in a logical way. Because, again, this is an air sign. Things are logical. If you know what I mean. If you, like, been feeling certain things, you know, you're going to write about it, or you're going to read about it. Like, actions are going to be taken on the things that you've been questioning internally. Get what I'm saying? Even when it comes to your community. And you're trying to figure out, why did you have to be born within a community, or why do you have this interest? You know, the whys are going to be answered with this new moon. And if you need assistance with that, doing a new moon manifestation would be excellent for you. It really would. And you can do it while having fun, because 12 kind of goes down to 3. You know, like, it's going to be great. And with the Gemini energy being mutable too, You know, you can have like strokes of genius happening like a whole bunch of times, like mad eureka moments, because, you know, Gemini energy is mutable. So you'll be going and thinking about one thing, and then another idea pops up and you're going to be into that. Another idea pops up and you're going to be into that, which is good, which is great. Make sure you write them all down and push them all the way through. Like, make sure you follow through with these ideas and plans, because they're genius. It's not happening for no reason. If you have like these certain ideas that you really, even if they're personal, even if they're business, doesn't matter what they are, creative. If you have these ideas, like, don't forget to follow through with them, because we're all having this. The collective's doing this, and it's not just happening for no reason. This is something that's divine. You get what I'm saying? So definitely keep that in mind too. And again, with this 3, we can do this and have fun. We can do this and enjoy ourselves. We can do this and heal. We can do this and see the fruits of our labor finally coming through. And we can work as a team to figure things out too. Especially, again, if we have people who experience the things that we experience and are willing to work together as a team to get it done, we can get it done, right? Okay, so keep that in mind for sure. Okay, this is just a great energy for manifestation. If you had any why question, if you needed to let something out from your heart, if you and you know what I mean, if you want to communicate something to anybody, even into the whole world, you can manifest that and make that happen. Okay, now this new moon is going to be in the second decan of Gemini, which is, of course, ruled by Mercury, because Gemini is ruled by Mercury, but it's also ruled by Venus. Second decans are co-ruled by Venus, okay? And so, but this energy is really interesting, because if you kind of go through the progression of the decans of Gemini, right? The first decan is Mercury, so it's you kind of getting into your thoughts and learning your thought and kind of learning, actually learning more about your thoughts, if that makes sense, right? And kind of understanding your genius and going with that. And then the second decan of Gemini is co-ruled by Libra. Now, not just any Libra, it's the extroverted version of Libra. Not Libra. It's not just any Venus, it's the extroverted version of Venus. The Venus that's ruled by Libra. Sorry, I'm talking crazy right now. And so, with that being said, you know, we all know Libra is all about relationships, right? Both good or bad, romantic, platonic, business, just one-on-one important relationships where compatibility is involved, okay? Now, with that, you know, now we're trying to see, is there anybody else that thinks like me, who can vibe with me, who is feeling what I'm feeling? You know what I mean? And it's kind of like checking in with another person to see if they understand where you're coming from. And if they understand what you're coming from, if they understand your thoughts, then y'all can do the 3 thing, come together, work as a team, and get shit done. Do you get what I'm saying? And so this can go in so many different levels. With the decan being here, with the new moon being in the second decan, is, you know, you can have these certain ideas. It doesn't matter if it's personal, business, creative, whatever. And then, like, you know, you finally went through all the thoughts or whatever, the logic of your idea, and now you're gonna go to somebody else with that Venus energy and be like, and relate with them, parlay with them, share minds with them, and see like, hey, are they understanding where I'm coming from? Can I balance this idea with their ideas? Can I throw some ideas at you? Can we brainstorm together and relate with each other so we can figure out, is this thing viable? Can I go forward with this? But this can be deeper, because this could also be you kind of logically explaining in a logical way your emotions to anyone that you have a relationship with too. You get what I'm saying? It could definitely be connected with that as well. You communicating how you feel in a logical way, so people could just not be like, oh, you're tripping, you just feeling this way. Be like, no, you break it down in a logical form so they can get it both intellectually and emotionally. You get what I'm saying? So having the moon in this decan's pretty cool, because you have, of course, your emotions, because this is the new moon that we're talking about. We have the sun here because the sun is a new moon that we're talking about, right? And we're actually putting action and identifying with what we're feeling. We're not denying it. We're identifying what we're feeling. We're taking action with it. But also, if anything needed to be said, or anything needs to be said to somebody, we can do it now. And we can do it in a way where we're explaining our emotions, but we're also doing it logically. So whoever that we're talking to can't deny it. If they're denying it, then you know that they're not even trying to understand you, and you can do whatever the hell you need to do from there forward. Me, I would bounce and not fuck with that person no more. But hey, that's me. Okay? And then lastly with the third decan, which, okay, I just want to mention that real quick. Third decan of Gemini is co-ruled by Uranus, and so with that energy, people really try to get to the unconventional, weird, unique ways of somebody, and kind of really kind of shake out all the inconsistencies, but also if we shake out all the inconsistencies and something unconventional comes out of it, thriving off of that and working off of that, but that has nothing to do with new moon. I just talked about the first two decans. I feel like I need to talk about the third, anyways. That's what I'm really feeling with this new moon. I really am. So it's really cool energy. Very practice what you preach, very white type of vibes. And that's what it really is. And we're with the sun being a Gemini, we're not only shining light on our own thoughts, we're shining light on with this new moon, our emotions and how we logically handle our emotions too. And so it's dope. Great manifestation time. And Gemini is a mutable sign. Wonderful manifestation powers. Mutable signs are top notch when it comes to manifesting. And so this is, again, really, really a great time to try to manifest during the new moon. It really is. It's a great time to do it. The mutable energy will come through, and it will help you. We're not going to be Gemini moons, of course, but being of the energy of Gemini moons, we're going to be kind of feeling the essence of it. And the cool thing about Gemini moons, I don't know why I'm stuttering so much, but whatever, we're just going to go with it. I'm detoxing too, so that might be it. But the cool thing about Gemini moons, though, the reason why they manifest so well is because they think a thought and then they let go and let God. They release it. That's how they manifest. All mutable signs let go and let God, but in their own different way, depending on what element they are. Gemini, they're air immutable. They have thoughts. They think logical things. They let go and let God, and that's how they manifest. And so use that. Do that, okay? Use that energy of thinking of something that you really want, really thinking about the details of what you want, not how to get it, but the end result, and then let go and let God, and watch how God works, though. Okay? Watch how God works, though. Okay? All right. So let's talk about these aspects happening to this new moon. I usually don't like talking about semi-sextiles and inconjuncts, and I know I say this probably every single fucking new moon and full moon podcast episode, but I have to. I don't know, man. Sometimes these aspects be speaking to me. But the thing is too is that not only is there not any aspect patterns with this new moon, and it's not any fixed stars conjunct this new moon, but there's only 3 solid aspects within this new moon. And so I had to add the semi-sextile energy with the new moon semi-sextile in Mars, because that will make it 4, and I feel like I'm talking more. I feel like I'm not cheating you guys, So let's finish this conversation, because I feel like when I do the episode, podcast episode where I speak on the first part of my new moon reading, the public part, right? I feel like I've gone further than 30 minutes at this time. I could be tripping, So I'm like, I feel like I'm going to go under the time, but whatever. Like, let's just keep going. Let me just shut up and talk, okay? Anyways, first aspect, the new moon's going to be semi-sextile Mars, which is interesting. So this is really interesting because we are going to have this, like, weird thing with us wanting to take action and be motivated by the things that we are emotionally connected to, with the Mars being in Cancer. But we're always going to stop ourselves during this new moon period and think like, okay, but is that the most logical thing? Did we break it down fully to understand it? Because again, like, with the moon also, this is a new moon. So with the moon also being in Gemini, and Cancer is connected to the moon, we are aware that emotions are important right now, and can kind of working off our emotions, thinking based off our emotions. We are aware that this is important. This Cancer energy is very emotional. The moon energy literally represents emotions. So we know that we need to confront our emotions. The thing is the actions that we take based off of it. With the Mars energy, Mars wants to react based off of how we are feeling right now, with Mars being in Cancer. And, the thing is that Cancer and the moon is connected to immediate feelings, how we are feeling right now. It's kind of like first reaction type of vibes, and it's really something. The emotions that we feel with the moon is our own, like it's truly our own emotions. Unlike like Pluto, Cancer, and Neptune, Pisces, that is more other entities and other people being involved. But the moon is us, is our emotions, how we directly feel. And so, this Mars is going to make us want to take action based off our how we're feeling. But the thing is that with this new moon, we always need to figure out the why. But why am I feeling this way? Why am I identifying this? Why do I need to take action on this right now? And so there's going to be like an understanding, like, yes, we are aware that emotions are important. We are aware that we need to focus on that. But one part of us is going to want to take action. One part of us is going to be like, wait, but did we break this down intellectually and logically? Do we really understand the why? And so you may be feeling that confliction a little bit. But the thing is that like semi-sextile, although an aspect, although important, is not as a prominent energy. So it's something that you're going to feel inside, but it's not going to be like that deep. Okay. The next aspect I see here is that the new moon is going to be sextile Chiron. That's great. I always like good aspects to Chiron because it promotes healing, and it promotes healing in a nice way, not a harsh healing. You know what I mean? So again, with Chiron being in Aries, we're really reflecting on childhood traumas connected to, our personality, persona, and appearance, but also motivation and drive. So anything that stopped us from feeling good about our personality, persona, and appearance and ourselves, but also things that stopped, childhood traumas that stopped us from having the full drive and the full motivation, and that will stop us taking action on things, but, and believing in ourselves with that straight Mars and Aries vibe, So we're really reflecting on that. The thing is, though, is the beautiful thing about the sextile is that, with the Chiron energy in Aries, we are basing this off of like this energy off of passion. You know what I mean? And the new moon is always wanting us to check things logically. And the new moon is kind of telling us right now, like in Gemini, it's telling us right now, like, okay, yes, you've gone through these things, but is it the most logical for you to react this way because you went through something? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like that. Like, it's telling you in a nice and easy way, and it's teaching you in a nice and easy way to don't let your passions fool you. Don't let your desires fool you, to always apply logic to how you're feeling and how you move, and to how you identify yourself. You get what I'm saying? Don't let this childhood trauma identify you. Learn from it and move beyond it. Don't let it stop you. And I feel like this aspect is kind of showing us to do that, and to not let like past childhood traumas or anything stop us, which is dope. It's really dope. And if you have and it's doing it in a nice, easy way. So if you have any childhood traumas connected to that, which most likely the collective does, even if it's something small, even if it's something like huge, it doesn't matter. This is a good new moon to try to manifest healing for that, and to help you kind of jump over that hurdle and get over that situation so you can be the best you. Okay. This new moon is also squaring Neptune. Oh Lord, squares are interesting, especially the Gemini Pisces square. Goodness gracious. That's like the worst square when it comes to the mutables to me. No, I wouldn't say the mutables. It's the worst Gemini square. I feel like Gemini square with Virgo is not nowhere near as bad. At least they share the same planet. They somewhat get each other. Air and Earth, like, they get each other a bit. They just don't move the same way. Air and water, like, goodness gracious. It's a complex relationship. But basically, with this thing, we want to be logical, and Neptune's not allowing us to. We want to understand the whys, right? And and the thing is that, like, there's certain things, because we are in this dimension, we're not supposed to know. And so there's going to be some a frustration during this new moon, because this is what's going to happen. We're going to really want to communicate our thoughts and really communicate our feelings. And we're going to probably be able to manifest some things and resolve some things. It's going to make us feel good. And then it's going to be like a biggie, like an unknown thing that we want to resolve so bad. And we're not going to be able to. And it's going to frustrate the fuck out of us. And it's because it's supposed to remain unknown. It's not only Neptune we're talking about. It's Neptune and Pisces, okay? This is that trickster energy. This is that energy of the unknown, for real, okay? This is that delusional energy. And if you kind of keep trying to stab at this unknown thing, you're going to end up getting yourself into some delusion, be disillusioned somehow, and you play yourself. All right? So I'm not saying to don't try to find a resolve of certain things in your life. Go ahead, just go at it, see if you can find a resolve. But if you're hitting a wall, a brick wall continuously, know that, okay, I'm not supposed to touch this right now. And it may not be that you're never supposed to touch it. It may be that you're just not supposed to touch it right now. Like this Neptune and Pisces energy with this new moon is reminding me of the High Priestess card, the Moon card. It's kind of connected with this vibe of, we're not supposed to know this yet. Wait for divine timing. You get what I'm saying? If this energy was okay, let's say this, the new moon in Cancer, right? If that energy was trining Neptune, which I think it's going to be, actually, it's going to be a far away trine, but a trine nonetheless, right? Then I would say okay, it's like the Judgment card, and we're going to get these divine messages to get certain things. But because this is a square, and because it's kind of logic versus intuition, it's going to be some confusion with that, so what's happening here is that there's certain things that are meant to be unknown right now and may be unknown forever, and we kind of need to let it go and just continue to fuck with the things and resolve the things and manifest things that we're supposed to be manifesting at this moment. Live in this moment right now, okay? Lastly, this new moon is going to be opposite Jupiter retrograde. So that's interesting, because I was just talking about the Gemini versus Sagittarius, and with Jupiter in Sag, like Jupiter is Sagittarius, like they're together, right? And so let me just talk about Jupiter and Sag retrograde right now. At this moment, we're on this vibe of reflecting on our philosophies and our beliefs, even the philosophies that were like taught to us in general. Like, we're kind of like really reflecting on that. And these philosophies can be like religion, cultures, beliefs, languages. Like, we're really reflecting on this heavy, seeing if it resonates with us. If you're not doing this now, you're going to be doing it until Jupiter's retrograde, and you're going to be doing it in some sort of fashion. Okay. So we're supposed to be reflecting our philosophies and our beliefs and concepts and religions and cultures and stuff like that to see if it resonates with us, right? At this moment, though, this new moon is promoting us to think for ourselves, to feel, to connect our emotions with our thoughts and with our actions, to identify with our emotions, but do it in a logical way, to apply our mind to our emotions, apply our mind to our actions, right? And it's telling us kind of like that thing that I was saying before, it has to be something that we know for sure, that we have proof of, that we've experienced. That's our truth. Like, Gemini represents like our personal truth, while Jupiter represents the truth of others, and do we resonate with it? You get what I'm saying? And so, this energy is kind of reminding me, it's kind of like philosophy versus experience, or philosophy versus, our own thoughts, or maybe our own thoughts versus foreign concepts. You know what I mean? And it's actually a good opposition, because at this moment we are supposed to be reflecting on certain philosophies and beliefs, and seeing if they resonate with us. And this new moon is promoting us to kind of accept our thoughts, accept what we experience in our own mind, not things and not foreign concepts that were not of our mind, that was kind of pushed into us. You know what I mean? And so this is like a special time right now for us to really figure out, like, do I really resonate with this? Do I really connect with this way of being, this way of life, this philosophy? What is my mind trying to tell me? Am I connected with this? And so this new moon is actually promoting this Jupiter retrograde energy of reflecting. You know what I mean? And it's also, to kind of flip it to the other end too, when it comes to manifestation. Again, Sagittarius is a mutable sign. Sagittarius is excellent at manifesting, just like all the other mutable signs. It's probably the fastest manifester, right? You're trying to, with Jupiter being retrograde, you are also trying to reflect on how to get abundance and prosperity in your life, and what different ways or foreign concepts that helped you gain this prosperity and abundance. And you're wondering, like, do I have to follow this philosophy or this belief, or can I just do this by myself? And I think you doing these new moon intentions, you're going to be realizing, like, yo, I can do this by myself. I don't need to do it in this particular way. So then it's an interesting aspect for sure. And it's something that we need to really be cognizant about and pay attention to and take advantage of. Definitely take advantage of this energy, okay? All right. So with that being said, I'm going to end it right here for y'all regular folks. For my patrons, of course I know that there are no, aspect patterns. There are no, for this new moon, there are no fixed stars conjuncting this new moon. But I'm going to be giving you a whole ass astro tarot reading, right? It's going to be more tarot than astro, but still astro tarot, because it's going to be a 12 card reading with a card representing each house. Actually 13 cards. I do an overall card too. And so So that's exciting. And then of course I'm going to be, doing the reading in which, like, seeing if the new moon's in whatever house, what does that mean for you? So it's going to be touching on everybody, because I'm going to talk about if the new moon is in all the 12 houses and give you scenarios on what you can be going through, and also suggestions on what to manifest, what to pay attention to in your life, and all that jazz. Okay, all right, so that's it. I'll talk to y'all later. If you're interested in being a patron, it starts off at $2 a month, baby. It's cheap. Okay? It's cheap. You should consider it. We do lives. I'm going to do a live. I was supposed to do a live with y'all today, but, it's going to be just too noisy and ridiculous and bad. So it's just no. Okay? Just no. But I'm going to see. I don't think my dad's working on Sunday, so I'm going to see if I can, finagle it for Sunday with my patrons. But we do lives. I talk with them. We do polls. I share astro info. I'm going to be doing my full-length astro tarot readings, my monthly astro tarot readings. Not monthly, more seasonally. Sun seasons. Yeah, because I'm going to be basing it off the signs. So it's going to be a Gemini season, 12-card reading, Cancer season, 12-card reading, blah, 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 blah. You get what I'm saying? But I engage with them. I follow them personally. We talk to each other. They update me on their life. Like, it's a family, it's a straight up family. I love it. So if you're interested, go to patreon.com/astrodim. You'll find me there. You can pledge. It'll be nice. I would love the support. I do a lot for y'all. So I would love the support. I really would. You can check out my YouTube, ASTRODIM7. Follow me, _ASTRODIM. That's THE_ASTRODIM. What else are we doing? I feel like I have more to say. Is that all I got? I think that's all I got. Oh, my Etsy shop. I'm having a 30% off sale right now, so you should check that out. Etsy.com/shop/astrodim. Again, that's Etsy.com/shop/astrodim. ASTRODIM. I'm having a 30% off my sale, off my readings. I'm having that sale happening right now. I'm talking crazy. I'm going to just end this right now. I hope you guys have a good new moon, though. Do your new moon manifestations. You got up until the end of the day on the 6th to do it. So do it. Okay? All right. Bye.